To clarify, when I'm using expression keepers, that is a reference to principal imperial bloodlines. Of course, it is attached here protocol, active passive house, and reincarnation protocol. When you launch a protocol, then the protocol does exist by its own principles. I don't need to repeat that every single day. If I'm using reference to protocol, it's jurisdiction protocol. It should be known by now. We discussed it enough. When I use principal imperial bloodline, it means in substance monarchy protocol. I'm using here a reference to actual event, not to what it has become as a customary event. That is another aspect that will need to be investigated. I'm using here, I'm projecting here the logic from absolute levels. And in that context, I'm recognizing also using reference empire. When I'm using reference empire, I'm actually in meaning of a planetary event and much longer history. I'm basically using reference to entire civilizational concept, even concept of life and concept of realm. Technically, concept of life energy and organization of life energy in a realm. A very generalized reference is when I use reference to empire, it's a reference to realm technically, an order of the realm as absolute category, as a matter of consciousness and how we deliver consciousness on the planet, for that matter as well. You will notice also the religions have their orders. Why that is being ignored? Why they have hierarchy? Why religions have hierarchy? Why it is being lost on the monarchy level? Well, monarchy level is when something walks on the ground. A religion is staying in the very narrow circles. We talk here realm management. We talk population management. We talk humanity management. I'm using here very much reference to managing protocol humanity and managing realm earth. Then I'm talking principal imperial bloodline. I have established also that there are kids being used, especially by Western societies, deep state they call it, kids being used to surround a woman. I can imagine that would be my character, that would be Mary's character. Can West blonde protocol, blue hair protocol explain itself? We talk to millenniums, at least build up of the latest civilizational cycle of someone building up Western concept on pedestal while completely looking as a Swiss cheese, rather, with all of the holes on it. I'm speaking of mind concept, mind energy, speaking integrity, speaking morality, speaking the most important aspects of the monarchical protocol itself. It's not going to be easy admission into it. Do not consider it as your right. Your right, that is not. It is hierarchy preceding the realms. Again, if religions can have it, then Earth is having it as well. Having a wish list, it's not going to be that much of a qualification. I was also thinking about apologizing for the shouting. Certainly is not deliberate event. This is protocol that certainly does have certain history of teaching. I have introduced within the concept of Constitution of Earth a recognition of that historic heritage of the planet. I'm going to assume at some historic point of time it was actually a rather vital matter of functioning of the planet. I'm going to assume that it was actually the monarchy equally constituted at earlier times in a format of teaching. I'm very sure this is not accidental. However, noticing how much you all try to be very nice, and that today the planet managed to bring that kind of criteria of someone promotion as how much they will manage to hold their temper. I can imagine would be paid that price with losing plenty of substance, as turned to be the case. I certainly would not promote shouting or losing the prescribed conduct on the public places. I do not consider the positioning I'm taking here as some kind of regularity. Neither 2 millenniums of withheld account would employ a sense of a regular event. I assume have enough credit for that level of indulgence, and I'm not going to promise that the tone would be changed, although I will admit it will be my sincere intention. Building proper style in communication is important factor. It is equally important building suitably correct and healthy society. I would imagine these events would happen in mutual correlation. On the legal matters in specifics, having history of monarchies for quite some time, reaching the point of entertainment industry or being replaced for a reference to intercontinental ships. I'm going to assume there will be plenty to be cleaned from the mind of the general population. It is something they need to apologize for, not us. We are not here to apologize. They are to apologize. This is the highest level of conceptual political taking, political constitutional work delivered landing on earth without asking for permission, assumed for such matters permissions are not to be granted. This is sainthood level, literally delivered comprehensive analytical approach on the planet. I would assume a principal imperial bloodlines in context will be reassessed from perspective of more genuine and function related factors. I'm not going to go too much into specifics. This is too much for one step. I would just like to clarify, or in legal terms, to clarify that it would be granted diplomatic immunity to the bloodlines themselves, because they would be harshly targeted to be compromised in order to be used as a pipes for this level of exploitation. So it is logical to assume that there would be granted a level of diplomatic immunity on these matters. Because we talk about high stake, very concentrated, very focused employment of comprehensive affairs, literally by the companies, by the company capitals, launched upon the private families. That is qualifying sufficiently for exclusion and granted diplomatic immunity status. Another verdict for today. Of course, it's going to make them very vulnerable, so would also need to be granted status protectionism against further escalation to be used in compromisable purposes. It should be very logical that such bloodlines would be entitled to protectionism. Why that has not happened is why I'm arguing all these years. We have logical building hierarchy in religions. but we do not have logic of building hierarchies in the managing societies. How that can possibly work one with another here? Something here clearly doesn't work exactly how it should work. I declare monarchy of earth status by the weight of work I have delivered to earth, and out of concern, this work, and provided free space not to be used by free-willing individuals for their free-willing ambitions. This level of work would always bring enormous level of responsibility, and I am not being saved from such concerns. It was for a very long period of time very much my personal question how far I should go with that, because it is an enormous level of personal responsibility. However, to watch this planet continue to go to the edge of the cliff, it is even harder. Such levels of work should be given right to be accountable and responsible, and that is the reason why I have asked for office. This level of work is entitled to its right to be accountable and responsible. It is entitled to be assessed accordingly, and I am again bringing this weight over institutions to institutions about ongoing responsibility going on them for a continuous escalation of the events, and they're still in a sleeping mode. So we will need to provide therefore some relief of the institutions eventually if they are also being stuck. We need institutions to start function properly. Planetary perspective, constitutional level, very important event. It is on the level of planetary defense protocol. I'm technically here launching planetary defense protocol. Another verdict of today.